Welcome back to the operating ward. Frankie's been on fire within the past year, and it's time to get some taillights going. So let's do this repair and change out the entire wiring harness. So first thing you want to do is you want to make sure any of your electrical connectors, such as your tow harness, is disconnected, because this truck has been on fire and the rear lenses had completely melted off.
They're pretty much non-existent now because we took them out. You still got the remnants of them?
Overemployed.
No.
So that was a hillbilly job with something kind of aftermarket for a reverse light.
Oh, trust me, that side is all jacked up. When we get it out, we'll show you how redneck that was and how unsafe.
Now this entire section of wiring harness can be replaced as one piece. There's a plug up underneath here. You just press on the tab and pull it apart and it'll come apart. There's also a light. I don't think I can see quite up there, but there's also this light up underneath here that'll prevent you from pulling the old harness out and putting the new harness in. So you'll need to remove that, and that consists of a 5/16 wrench, a 7/16 socket, and a lot of PV blaster.
Because these are more than likely going to be old and rusted based on this vintage. And especially if you're in the Rocky Mountain Rust Belt out west or in the Eastern Rust Belt out east. Oh yeah.
We fall within one of those rust belts.
We fall within the Rocky Mountain Rust Belt.
Well, we are also just a few miles away from Great Salt Lake. Alright, I gotta go under.
Down he goes.
Because I am getting caught on everything.
Now, taking out the wiring harness is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, really should take a rocket genius to figure that out.
I'm going to be redoing this trailer tow. I'm going to cut this trailer tow harness. So, you want to fetch me a pair of dikes?
You mean women in comfortable shoes?
Those two. So tell the wife.
Well, let's see what he's got in here. Well, we got all sorts of stuff, but no dikes. Some layman's pliers with wire cutters on them should work.
Yeah, those should work.
People are staring at us and giving us funny looks as they drive by.
And old harness is out.
And voila. So get up here so we can show them how crappy, then lazily put together, quickly put together, wrongly, yeah, this harness looks.
The hack job repairs.
Oh yeah.
So this is the passenger side.
Yeah, so the biggest thing is they went and that's how they put this, wired the socket in. And just put that behind. I mean, look at that. There's no connectors. It's not soldered. I mean, this thing is unsafe. That's exposed wire.
And there's the driver's side.
Well, not quite sure what that is, but... And then these things right here, garbage. Hate them. Factory uses these in some cases, but I cannot stand these. So if you guys are doing a wiring harness repair, you come across these that are not being used, get rid of them and shrink tube this shit to keep this stuff from corroding.
So this, I might repair it and retain it as a spare.
It's repairable. We can repair it. I can do a series of videos on this. You sound more of a wiring engineer than you are.
Fusible link, something the new harness does not have.
Yeah, that's got a fuse in it. One of the two. It's either a fuse holder or a link. I think it's a fuse holder.
Either which way, we're going to expertly catalog that.
Expertly cataloged.
And here's the new harness. I've already taken the opportunity to go through this.
So he is actually going to be doing a video with me where I'm actually going to show the steps and processes to take an old harness and get it to this point to where it's actually good and safe and more or less will look brand new, other than I will be using black conduit as opposed to this blue. So,
well, as I go through the wiring harness in this truck, I want to more easily define what wiring harness sections I've gone through. And it seems how the factory used black, I'm going to use blue. That'll tell me which sections I've gone through and which ones I haven't.
so if you look here, this was a junkyard harness that we pulled apart and cleaned up. Obviously, we redid the conduit on it to protect it. Went through all the connections. We ohm tested all the wires, all the sockets, and then we actually have power probes, so we were actually able to plug into this side of the harness and actually and supply ground and stuff to be able to test to make sure that there's continuity and that all the lights are going to turn on.
The only ones I couldn't get working were the reverse lights, and that's because I didn't have any of my new bulbs with me, and the bulb that's in this is the wrong bulb.
Yeah, that's a dual filament bulb. He needs a single filament bulb.
Exactly. So please, when you replace your incandescent bulbs in your old pickup truck, make sure you get the right ones for the application, because you can't press on it, you can't twist it. And that's because those are offset, and this socket is perfectly even.
So when you look at the socket here, all right, and you look at the light bulb, the lugs focus, as you can tell, are offset, one's higher than the other. Not to mention, when you look at the back side, you got two spots for two filaments. When you look inside, you got two filaments. This bulb right here in my hand is an 1157 bulb. What that bulb it takes is an 1156 bulb. I know, I sell these on a daily basis.
And I've got them in the cab of the truck.
So, an 1156 bulb, the lugs are not offset, and it's only going to have one of these dead center of the bulb. And when you look in the bulb, it'll be a single filament.
Alright, so now I'm going to get underneath and...
So he just expertly catalogs it for me.
And I'm going to get ready to set this back in place. Because the goal for today is to get Green and Nasty's lights working.
And again, pretty self-explanatory on routing your and putting in your wires, just almost like exactly like the way the old harness was. If you got clamps, clamp them in. If they're good enough, reuse them. If not, replace them. Zip tie. Make sure they're tied up out of the way of any moving parts or any heat sources, and make sure that they're secured enough to prevent rubbing and chafing. Which we'll do a more detailed video on that as the time comes on my rig.
Remember on this side, does that pass through? Yes, it does.
Now, are you actually putting that together on the right sides?
Yep.
So
Long side is on the passenger side, short side is on the driver's side, because the primary vehicle harness is on the driver's side.
Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, we got a construction company that has stuff here, so we'll hear them a lot. And the reason why I can't get down there and show you guys what's going on is
I got an axle in the way.
got a big old hulking 1,000-pound, not really axle in the way.
Oh, it only weighs 100 pounds.
Like I said, not really. See, and he's got to turn on his big old floodlight.
Because I gotta make sure I can orient the plug the right way so it'll connect in. It only goes in one way, but sure helps if I'm able to see what I'm doing.
And he's still got a lot of stuff in the back of this. I mean, this is just, with this right here and being tested and stuff, is going to be one more thing off the list of things that need to be done to make this truck a road illegal.
Just a little bit.
Yes, a little bit.
understand that. Of course, the donor, when I took this harness off, did not have its receiver hitch in place. Alright, so that's plugged in, so now I gotta route these sockets back up into their place.
This is where I come in because I can help with that even while holding the camera. So this part I can show you. You want to route them in one at a time? Oh shit, man, got my fingers in the way there.
You're getting your big old meats in the way.
Yeah, so you want to route them through one at a time, not both, because you're going to have issues. Now there are these holders here for the original harness that was here, which is quite a bit longer than this one, but this one should do the trick. It should, again, it came off of an 88 250, same body style.
No BS body style.
Alright, so, ow! Oh, he did a good job on. There. See, now this one's long enough that it can be tied in right there.
It can be strangled.
But that one seems a little short.
Why is this one? It's not even short. Feed some through. Alright, there we go.
Okay, now go get your lenses and light bulbs. So while he's gathering that stuff, we'll give ourselves a pause. What'll be a couple seconds to you will be several minutes for us. So stay tuned. We are live.
Alright, let's get some bulbs in. I just realized I don't have the right bulbs for the reverse light sockets.
But does your reverse light switch work?
I don't know. No idea. I know the switch is still jammed into the transmission and the wiring harness is still plugged in.
So now he's changing out his light bulbs. I'll stand back here on the camera and watch. He's got to go plug in his battery. That's only got 11 volts.
Or less.
He's got his jump pack though.
Those are the dual filaments, so they should be tail lights.
And we got parking lights, brake lights, both sides, good.
And in order to test turn signals,
Ignition's got to be on.
yep. Those are Floyd's keys. That ain't gonna help me with Green and Nasty. Green and Nasty's keys are over here. I need to grab those.
Right there. Sorry, my zoom sucks.
Alright. So my brother's in the process of giving me a copyright strike.
That's only if we play the music. Now, if we play the music out of our own mouths, how can they copyright it?
Very carefully. Battery's dead.
Yeah?
Jump pack.
Okay, so we're going to pause it a second here. Okay, we are back.
Turn signals again.
Technical difficulties aside. Left turn signal. Right turn signal. They all work. So the only ones we need to test are the reverse lights. And both the hazards are working.
Alright, I got 4 ways.
And a burned out headlight. So now we're going to put the light buckets in, cut everything up, and do another retest.
Unfortunately, any idea if O'Reilly's has got the little keeper tabs for inside here?
Honestly don't know. Never been asked. Does your new buckets come with them?
I don't know. Find out. Now,
These are
the driver's side.
Hold on, let me get a shot of the part number.
That's the driver's side.
That's the passenger side. And by the way, you can get these at your local auto parts store. We got these at O'Reilly's.
And these will fit Broncos F-150s and F-250s from 1989 to 1996 and 97.
Yep.
Nice shiny new parts. And it does not appear as though they come with them.
Doesn't look like they come with hardware either.
No, but I've got hardware covered. Alright, so this is the driver's side. This socket.
Let me stand over
Plugs
here.
in there. And then this one plugs in down there. And you just carefully put your wires back in there like so.
And now?
And now I need to grab my hardware.
See, look at this. Nice, shiny, new. I might actually get a set of these for AP.
Let me just figure out where my hardware went.
Yeah, he can't figure out where his hardware went. Wow.
It's no wonder I can't find anything in here. My organizational system is so organized that I can't find nothing. I don't find my values anymore. Alrighty, now let's go through this conglomeration of conglomerations and take out a couple of screws. So right now, until I get the proper tabs for these right here, I'm gonna wind up. I wonder instead of shorter.
And where he's putting them. Move your shoulder. Where he's putting them is somewhere back over here. Back
Right
in
here, right here.
Yeah, that camera angle kind of sucked, guys. I do apologize. But they come in through the back side along in here. Hold them in, and then you got these two right there.
Yeah, because I don't have keepers for those, I can't see those screws. And those screws are the longer ones. Right screwdriver.
But for now, they'll be held in. You still got to take them out to put the right bulbs in your reverse light circuit.
Yep. But right now, this is just gonna hold them in.
And there you go. Then all you'd have to do is put your two screws right there, and guess what? You got yourself a new taillight lens and all that installed in the back.
And a fresh wiring harness that isn't gonna be prone to setting your rig on fire.
Or causing you to get pulled over.
Either which way, you ain't gonna have that janky old crap. Alrighty, passenger side. And I don't have.
So hey Chris, how much retail did you pay for those?
What, these taillight buckets?
Yeah.
Oh. They were between, I want to say, between 25 and maybe $40. They're not very expensive.
Yeah, so these are parts that you don't have to go to LMC Truck or USA One or Brothers or Bronco Graveyard or Wild Horses or anything like that to get that deal in Ford parts or just old truck parts in general. These
Although
are
you can if you wanted to.
you can if you want to, but these are readily available at your local auto parts store. I'm sure. Like I said, we got these TYCs at O'Reilly's, and I'm sure your local Napa Advance and AutoZone will probably have them as well if that's what your fancy is with shopping with them, or if that's what you have available to you. And if your local store don't, I guarantee, because they are parts that are normally stocked around the country, that they can easily be got within a few days at best. So that way you got yourself a nice shiny new unoxidized set, brand new shiny, that you don't have to go through and restore and have all the oxidation and stuff that you would get out of the salvage yard. Now if you want to take the ones out of the salvage yard and do a headlight restore on them, you can do that and get close to the same effect. Technical difficulties?
I need those.
Let me see.
I have one left.
Well, pull this one, leave this one out, and we could hit up the O'Reillys and see if we've got them. Pardon the jet noises. Hill Air Force Base is out playing today. You know, listen.
We are literally right next to the end runway of Hinckley Airport, and
Literally a couple
right
miles.
next to the main gate of Hill Air Force Base.
Yeah, I'll even take you out over here. So Ogden Hinckley Airport is literally over there, that way. So that's west, and then couple of miles further that way is Hill Air Force Base. So yeah, and that's south of us, not west of us. That's south of us. So, yeah, we will be, and oh, by the way, this is Election Day 2020, November 3rd, at the time of this filming. So, and just in case you Mongoloids want to know, we did vote. So we did do our part and vote.
We're just not going to say who we voted for because I don't want that kind of drama on my channel.
Yeah, so politics aside, on both of our channels, we don't talk politics. But we're just letting y'all know, we did vote. Because everybody's been screaming for us to get out there and vote, so we did that. So we figured we'd take the rest of Election Day and film a video or two.
By the way, we voted yesterday, not today.
But either which way, we still voted nevertheless.
Okay. That bucket is being held in with one screw, so that's nice and safe.
So, with that being said, this thing's now more or less one step closer to being on the road. So,
yeah, she looks a little more complete.
Yeah.
She'd definitely be a little more closer to road legal. Now, there is one more thing you're gonna want to deal with.
License plate lights.
Yes, and this truck is equipped with two of them. One that goes right there, one that goes right there.
Same on the opposite side. Let's get the part numbers.
So these are Dorman Help.
Both the same part.
68151.
You can find these anywhere Dorman parts are sold. Again, O'Reilly's on their Dorman Help aisle.
And these are the factory correct ones for this truck. And these are also considered universal, so they also work in Chevys, Dodges, just about anything else. They're practically a universal fit.
But it's in a lot of cases, it's up to you to make them fit.
So for this is going to be a direct fit application. I just got to go through and figure out my wires because they're going to be tied directly into the running lights. So once they're tied into the running lights, once I actually turn on my running lights, I'll have my tail lights, license plate lights, the front marker lights, and my my clearance lights up on the roof.
So, and I'm not sure what it's like, you know, but I know in my area, most other areas I've been in my escapades of driving truck, license plate lights are required at night. So to be legal, you will have to make sure that those are tied in and are working, so that way you don't get a ticket.
So,
any last thoughts there, Doctor?
No, that should pretty much cover it for this segment. So, we covered on a 1989 Ford F250 the changing of the rear tail light harness, changing of the bulbs, and I may get around to doing a video where I'll show you what the actual plug underneath the truck looks like. I'm going to show you where this light goes, and I am going to rewire this in to the harness so that this works.
So we discovered these lights not too long ago, and if any of you guys out there that eventually watch this video want to tell us what these lights do, what these lights were intended for, what they do other than light things up, because they were found approximately
right behind this panel of the bed.
So yeah, we kind of want to know what these lights are, because my Chevy even has something like that. My Ford has something like that. Both of his Fords do. So,
and by the way, these are not aftermarket because they have the Ford Motor Company emblem, and that is a Ford part number.
So yeah, these are definitely factory, but we don't know exactly what these lights do. But definitely not license plate lights.
Yeah, and I know that they're factory because the 88 that I pulled this replacement harness from had the same light, which I did grab, and Floyd has the same light. Green and Nasty obviously has the same light.
AP has it, and then even my Chevy, which is within this generation, also has it as well. So we want to, if any of you guys can enlighten us as to what these lights are for, what they're used for, that would most greatly be appreciative.
So, 1989 Ford F250 XLT Lariat, rear tail light wiring harness, bulbs, light buckets, complete change out. Brings this truck one step closer to being put back on the road. Next repair is going to be done is going to be the rear brakes, wheel bearings and hubs.
The front brakes.
We'll be moving on to the RABS module, then the Dana 50 front axle, as well as the master cylinder and power booster. And then once that's done, this truck will be pretty much ready to be put back into service. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and sign off on this electrical repair video. You know what I'm working on, so what are you waiting for? Get out there and work on something. And as always, I'm Dr. Frankentruck, and I'll see you next time on the operating table.
Cheers!